Most of us don't think much about the connection between what happens here and what happens here. But did you know that innovative farming and ranching practices can have a positive impact on quality of the water we drink? Here's why. We all rely on farmers and ranchers to put food on our tables each day. They do heroic work. And to get the job done, they have to apply fertilizers to help crops grow and insecticides to protect them from hungry bugs. They also raise lots and lots of animals that produce, well, animal waste. And here's the challenge. When it rains, chemicals, fertilizers, sediment, and animal waste can be washed into streams, and those streams feed into rivers, and those rivers feed into lakes. Eventually, they can find their way into drinking water supplies for small communities, towns, and even big cities. You might ask, how big of a problem is it? After all, we've been growing food for a long time, right? Well, here's something to consider. In 2014, the greater metro area of Toledo, Ohio, was left without drinking water for 3 days. 500,000 people. Restaurants closed their doors. Crowds cleared supermarkets of bottled water. People couldn't wash their dishes or even brush their teeth. Why? It's because a harmful algal bloom sat right over the spot in Lake Erie where Toledo draws its source water. Blue-green algae can produce a harmful colorless toxin called microcystin, and new testing raised concerns about the safety of the drinking water. The city issued a do not drink advisory, while water treatment professionals increased treatment and verified the water was safe to drink. So what caused the harmful algal bloom in the first place? You guessed it, a big contributor was nutrients, primarily phosphorus. Runoff that contains phosphorus becomes a sort of unintended fertilizer for algae in water. Too much nutrient runoff, and bloom, you've got a big-time water problem. Scientists believe harmful algal blooms are on the rise in all 50 states and Canada from both human activity and warming water temperatures. They can even see them clearly from satellites. If we don't all work together to address the sources of nutrient runoff, the challenges to water quality will keep coming. Water treatment operators are learning how to better manage treatment processes to deal with microcystin using advanced warning systems and new protocols. But additional treatment and development of new processes is expensive, and building new plants is even more costly. So what can we do? First, let's be clear. Farmlands aren't the only source of runoff concerns. Pollution from cities, towns, and developments can also impact downstream communities. And while many urban areas are finding new ways to deal with urban runoff, there is still more work to do. But looking just at our vast spaces of agricultural land, we have a golden opportunity. Let's make it easy for farmers and water utilities to collaborate on solutions that protect water supplies. And let's make sure we do it in a way that is cooperative and benefits everyone. And as it turns out, now is the perfect time. The U.S. Congress is working on a massive farm bill. Historically, the Farm Bill has contained money to encourage smart conservation practices on agricultural land. The work is primarily done through the Natural Resources Conservation Service within the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The NRCS, as it is called, operates several programs that can be used to improve and protect source water. The programs work this way. The federal government helps pay the costs to design and install conservation practices for farmers and ranchers who are willing to invest in solving environmental issues. And as the programs stand today, they offer opportunities for states, local communities, farmers, environmental groups, businesses, and farm organizations to cooperate and make the programs better, do more for the environment, and reach more people. But what if they could do more? Here's a thought. What if the Farm Bill placed a special emphasis on conservation practices that help farmers better protect drinking water supplies? It's already being done in places. In Northwest Arkansas, an alliance of agricultural, water, and environmental stakeholders received $4.3 million from the NRCS and matched that amount with another $4.3 million in cash and in-kind contributions to rehabilitate a river and implement on-farm conservation practices. In Cedar Rapids, Iowa, the water utility is working with 15 partners, including the Iowa Soybean Association, to adopt practices that reduce nutrient pollution. The partners are contributing $2 million in technical and financial assistance, and NRCS is matching it. So, back to the Farm Bill. The American Water Works Association, which is made up of people who provide clean drinking water, is urging Congress to provide robust funding for the conservation title in the Farm Bill, emphasize protecting source water in those programs, expand opportunities for the Natural Resources Conservation Service to work with water systems to prioritize source water protection activities in each state, increase benefits for farmers who employ practices that benefit downstream water quality, and ensure at least 10% of conservation program funds are focused on the protection of drinking water. It all makes sense, right? We need the right language here to help farmers and communities work together here to make sure only the highest quality water comes from here. Working together, we can assure the very best water quality while keeping agricultural operations healthy and productive. Here's to a sunny tomorrow for farmers and everyone who relies on safe and sustainable water.